It's Dr. Lucy here with Keto in the Car slash craft room. Ate something and I'm up. My goal last week has to, uh, oh, maybe I've just started live now. Anyway, so maybe I'll do my intro again. Massive imperfect action. So, good morning, lovelies. Dr. Lucy here with an episode of Keto in the Craft Room. Um, my goal over the last week was to become a morning person. Now, I realize that that's not something you do overnight or in a week, but unless I change my thoughts about it, unless I start saying I'm a morning person, I won't become one. Good morning, Susan. So, today's little Keto in the Car episode is actually about keto sticks. So, we've talked a little bit last week. We talked all about insulin and the I guess, theory behind insulin being a fat storage and a growth hormone. This week, I'm just going to do a few practical tips. I have a lot of people who ask me about, checking urine sticks, checking, blood ketones, all of those sorts of things. So today, first of all, don't bother checking your urine, okay? It's a complete waste of time. All that tells us is that you have ketones in your urine. Well, honestly, we have those all the time. Anybody, if we check anybody who hasn't eaten for a while, they'll have ketones in their urine because our body does make some ketones from time to time. That doesn't mean you're in ketosis, so to speak. The ketones that are in your wee are just ones that are spilt. So they're not even being used. So honestly, it's a complete waste of time. It also doesn't tell you if the ketone sticks are negative, you can still be in ketosis. They actually tell you nothing. So the information they give you is useless. So just don't bother with them. If you're going to check blood ketones, you need to think about, well, why are you doing this? So again, blood ketones tell us that your body is using fat for fuel. Doesn't tell you if that fat's coming from your plate or from your abdomen, which is where we want usually to kind of use our fat. So it doesn't tell you if it's from from your plate or from your woodshed. Good morning. God, there's lots of people on this morning. Hello, lovelies. So if you want to check blood ketones, sometimes people do it for accountability. Again, I'm big on accountability and using whatever tools you can to keep to keep yourself accountable is really helpful. So, as an example, my accountability about getting up in the mornings is I now go to my window and I post a photo and put it on Facebook and I say, good morning. I just discovered today I can actually timestamp it, even more accountability. So for me, that's my accountability to continue doing what I want to do. So if checking your blood ketones helps keep you accountable, then go for it. Does it tell you any useful information? Maybe, maybe not. Again, it depends. Why do you want to be in ketosis? Do you want to be in ketosis for fat loss? Well, it doesn't actually tell you that because, again, where's that fat coming from? Do you want to be in ketosis because you want to feel good? You want those ketones, which really do give us a different type of energy. People who are in ketosis will know what I'm talking about. You quite often get that really clear thinking and energy, which is bizarre because the best way to do that is by fasting. And traditionally, when your woodshed was shut, you couldn't fast because you'd be starving. But once your woodshed's open and you're burning your own fat for fuel, you can go for hours and hours and lots of hours, and you will be in ketosis and you will have energy. So, if you are going to check ketones, so the first thing I would say is why are you doing it? Second thing is, what do the results mean? And the answer to that is we don't really know, to tell you the truth. So if you have more ketones in your blood, does that mean you're deeper in ketosis? Or does that mean your body's not very good at using them? We don't really know. So the goal is not a number of ketones. Okay, and we kind of think that you're probably using ketones for fuel if your blood ketones are above 0.3. Stephen Phinney, Professor Phinney, who is sort of the guru of this years and years predated any of us in his enlightenment. He suggests more than 0.5 to get into ketosis. But so let's say you're 0.5 or you're 1.5, what does that mean? Nothing, actually. It doesn't make any big deal. My blood ketones are always high. I don't know. I don't do anything special. I just eat the right food. So again, it's all about what your purpose is. So if you want to track, there are data trackers out there. They love tracking. They check everything. They check their blood ketones, their blood glucose, their waist measurements, their scales. They'll go and have DEXA scans. That's fine. If you want to be like that, that's fine. It's, again, that's your accountability. There are other people who don't want to do that, and that's fine too. So just think about the reason for the tool. And I think, there are some people who go, all right, and again, it's a little bit like the scales. They might say have a high carb day. They might get on the scales and think, oh, great, they didn't change. I got away with it. So that might help them then have another day off or another day like an enabling. Or they might get on the scales and go, oh, it didn't change. Thank God, not too much damage. Okay, so again, it's all about what your brain says. Same with ketosis. You might have some extra, I don't know, let's say you have some bread. Out of ketosis, you go, all right, that's it. I'm not doing the bread again. Or you might have, because certainly there are people that can have higher carbs and stay in ketosis. So again, just know yourself and know whether this tool is going to be effective or not. It's certainly not necessary. And for some people, it gives false information. But if you want to do it, go for it. Oh, and the thing I would say is the strips are expensive. They're like $1 each. So, again, you don't need to do it multiple times a day. You are more likely to be in ketosis in the afternoon than in the morning. Again, I don't know. It doesn't quite make sense. But what I'm assuming is that in the morning, we get some dawn phenomena, which means our cortisol goes up, as it does with everybody at 3 a.m. And as it starts to go up, our liver makes some glucose. So our liver is already saying, right, we're ready for the day, here's some fuel. So if your liver is making glucose for you, then your fat burning will turn off short term. But then if you continue on and deplete that glycogen or that glucose that the liver's just made and go back into your fat burning, then by the afternoon, your ketones will be bigger. So if I'm going to check, it's about 5 o'clock. All right, darlings, I hope that's been helpful. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Bye now.